access.
This is The Spot. The Spot with your host, Prophet Pete and DJ Sean Recognize.
Yeah. What up, world? You know what's going on, man. It's your boy. Your girl calls me her throat doctor because she loves it when I numb the back of her throat. You heard?
Woo! Woo!
And I got my mans with me.
He ain't telling your name.
Oh, yeah, I forgot who the hell I was for a second. The throat doctor. That's all I need to tell him.
The throat doctor.
It's your boy, Prophet Pete, man, for the city that never sleeps. Brooklyn in the background, stand up.
Brooklyn always, you know what I mean? That's really my building right there. That's not just a motherfucking background, you know what I'm saying? Facts, really. But your lady gives it all till there's nothing left. So I beat the box like I'm Dougie Fresh. Sean Recognize. What's up, world?
What up, what up, what up? What up, all the way live. Hip hop was good. On a check-in all day, man. You already know. It's hot out here. My hat crooked. You know, we was running a little late, but you know, we still here. We still here in the building, man. And I just want to say, yo, it is hot as hell out here.
Oh man, hotter than 15 niggas in a Volkswagen.
Yo, for real, man. Yo, and we got some good shit for you today. We got, you know, the old school, the new school. Need to learn though, because then we got the top 5. And there's this clip I want to play that I think we need to touch on this a little bit because I think it's a little funny. I don't know if you've seen the news report with a lady basically saying that mass shootings is happening because they legalized marijuana.
No, I didn't see that. Where did you see this?
Don't worry. I'm gonna play the clip. We got the whole clip for you, Fox 5 News, bro.
Okay, yeah. We definitely gotta bring that up. We gotta bring that out. We gotta give that some light because I want to, smash that definitely.
Yeah. So while that's going on, we got that going on in the background. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about some good stuff, man. But yo, definitely, man, it's been a good week. A lot of good things going on. I must say, it's always good to stay motivated and focus on the things that you need to focus on for yourself. Only because there's a lot of times you get lost in the sauce, man. And your boy decided to go back to school, so that was a good day yesterday. So definitely a beautiful thing. Haven't been to school in probably 2 years since COVID hit. That's when I stopped going. Now I'm back on my bully. So it's definitely going to be a dope.
You fitting at the desk, no problem now.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like feeling great, losing weight.
That's what it is, brother, man. Health is wealth. Everybody get up on it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Big Fruit. Always on the check-in, hitting the gym in between visits to the store, everything. He going to pick this up. He going over here to do that, get a quick workout in real quick. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, giving us cast the motivation to get up in that gym and get some money. So shouts out to my man.
Yeah. And shout out to the man Michael Bostic in the building. Definitely
Bostic, Michael Bostic, the spot legend, one of the original owners of a key to the spot.
For real, he was the R&B singer, look rapper. He looked like a rapper until he opened his mouth. Like, what the hell is going on right now?
I thought he was about to bust a freestyle. This nigga harmonizing. Oh shit. Word, shout out to Mike Bostic, man. Oh, you know what I'm saying? The spot there. He might be the only person that's been on the spot more than Leah Wynn. Might be the only one. Repeat appearances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know personally 3 interviews we did. Personally, you know what I mean? I was there for those 3, so I know he's been on at least 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yo, man. But yeah, man, it's definitely cool. Loving when people on the check-in, man. you know, people be out there watching, but they watch in silence. And you know
Yeah,
what?
man.
That's cool.
Yeah, else you can watch it silence. Just tell a friend to tell a friend, man, to log on and lock in. We here every Thursday. You know what I mean, this is what we do. We may be a little bit late, but we're gonna lock in with y'all. We're gonna tell y'all what's going on, and you know what I mean, talk that good talk and give you the lowdown and what's going on in the streets, what's happening with music. You know, we're definitely gonna put you on to some new artists that you probably never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Some good feel good music. Sometimes some different stuff. You know what I mean? Not everybody that comes on is your traditional, I guess, run of the mill, quote unquote rap artist. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes we do things a little different, but we always bringing you that good talent. You know what I mean, it's gonna be quality. We're never gonna steer you wrong. We're gonna steer you strong. You pick up what I'm putting down.
All day.
Do it for you. That's why we're here.
All day. So we're still waiting for this to process. Before we get into anything else, I really want to talk about. Well, let's just talk about while we're waiting for this video to process. Let's just talk about the mass shooting a little bit. Right.
Yeah, I
What
guess we gotta get it over with. You know, get with the ugly details. So of course you heard he's got 7 counts, first degree murder.
Mm.
That's what they're gonna give him. So I guess when he gets that's just the charge. So I guess when he gets convicted, then we'll know how much time he's going to get. But I mean, it's a mandatory life sentence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you know that'll
Doesn't
probably be
have
that.
the so
No.
he's just gonna spend the rest of his natural life in jail,
Yeah.
life without.
Yeah.
So,
You know, no
here
man,
we go.
no manifesto this time, nothing like that either.
Yeah, and here we go. We're gonna get into this. We'll get into this Fox 5 news clip,
Okay, let's
and
do
then
it.
we're gonna talk.
My man P Money.
Stable home for children run by adults who hold themselves and the kids accountable is of paramount importance. A dysfunctional home life where drugs are easily accessible puts too many young people on a highway to hell these days. And speaking of drugs, according to the Daily Mail, well, the New York Times had originally reported that Ramos smoked pot. Then, mysteriously, the reference was missing from the online editions. Now, why is that? Was it bad information? Or is this the pro-marijuana bias that we've become accustomed to, that's so powerful because billions are on the line with it nationwide? So is the story now irrelevant? We reached out to the Times on this, but they have not responded. Now, the American people are hearing a lot about AR-15s and background checks, but they also deserve to hear about this as well. Respected medical studies for years now have demonstrated that pot use, especially among teens, can trigger psychosis and increase the chance that a young person will develop violent behaviors. The Association of Mature American Citizens writes, a 2017 study identified marijuana as the single most common correlative variable in otherwise diverse populations and circumstances surrounding the association of violence and marijuana. Reported links exist to shooters in Parkland, El Paso, Dayton, Aurora, Colorado, Tucson, Chattanooga, Sacramento, and perhaps elsewhere. Now, a friend of the Dayton shooter, Connor Betts, told authorities that he was a gun owner and that he had done hard drugs with Betts as well as marijuana and acid 4 or 5 times a week from 2014 to 2015. Former New York Times reporter Alex Berenson has written extensively on this subject. A 2012 paper in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence examining a federal survey of more than 9,000 adolescents found that marijuana use was associated with a doubling of domestic violence in the U.S. Then there's this, the National Library of Medicine. Recent illicit and medical marijuana is of much higher potency and more likely to cause violent behavior. High-potency marijuana is a predictable and preventable cause of tragic, violent consequences. My question tonight is, why isn't there a national conversation happening right now about this? Why aren't reporters doing more to demand information on the potential drug use, in this case and others, both illicit drugs and prescription drugs? Antidepressants have long been known to be a problem for some young people. Or are we all just going to pretend that Joe confiscating all the 9mm or Beto running a gun buyback program is going to heal and protect our youth? Is that what we're hoping? You see, I'd rather operate in the real world. And that world is a lot more complicated than the anti-Second Amendment, anti-gun activists would suggest. Whenever there is a societal, cultural, familial, and spiritual deficit, bad things are going to rush in to fill it. Guns, gangs, drugs, then there will be harm to others or self-harm. And until we're honest about all of this, young people will continue to be pawns in a political game. And that's the angle.
And that's the angle.
That is the angle. You know,
Hey, they said in one study said that high potency marijuana is more likely to make you violent. Are you stupid? That is the complete opposite of what high potency marijuana is going to do to you. It's going to put you down. You're going to be in the cut somewhere, slumped behind a speaker or some shit.
Right, but
you kidding me?
Yo, there's so much that she said.
Yeah, I was so surprised at it. But then when you played the Fox, when I saw the Fox logo come up, I was like, wow, gave them. But then I realized what was happening. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I see why this is this. Yeah, it's crazy. Plug in the building.
Plug in the building. Yo, it's.
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off while I was playing, man.
All you could do is laugh because one, right? And I hate to say it, and I hate saying 2022, that the media controls the narrative, and everything that was depicted in that story was kids in the ghetto, kids, from broken homes, access to drugs. Where do you go to get drugs? Right? You go to the hood. That's where it's,
it's easily accessible.
Easily accessible, right? Then there's gang violence and this and that. Everything you're saying is what they say about it. Right. Violence. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Taking a 9mm, but she, sit there. People that do these mass shootings, you do a 9mm, you limit the amount of 9mm out there. Dudes ain't doing mass shooters with 9mm.
Yeah.
Semi-automatic rifle. Like, that's what they doing it with. I can't buy one of those in my life.
Let me tell you something. I've never heard of any stoner, smoker, whatever you want to call them, going and getting an AR-15 and committing some kind of mass shooting up, just because. You've never heard of it. You feel me?
Anyone, and to be honest with you, anyone that has ever gotten high, you are the most relaxed motherfucker.
You're tranquil. That's what I'm saying. You either tranquil. You can get something and get turned up, right? But at the same time, you're still on a mellow level, on a friendly level, if you will. You know what I mean? I've seen rooms full of killers, and somebody sparks something up, and it's going around, and now everybody is friends. You know what I mean? For that moment, everybody is chill. They conversating, and it's kumbaya. You feel me? Now outside of this door, after we cross this threshold, there's another story. You feel me? But right now, everything is what it is. So I don't
like. Even if we take it back, going far back, what you think was in that peace pipe that the Indians was passing around? Right, it was a peace pipe. Like,
for a reason.
For real, like Cheech and Chong, right? The movie, all they did was smoke. There was no violence in that. If you look at the characteristics of someone that is a stoner, right?
Yeah.
The wake and bake kind of person. Yo, they the most chill. They don't give a damn about much or nothing.
They ain't shooting up. They ain't shooting up nothing except a damn Krispy Kreme donuts. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. They going up in there
Yo,
when the hot light come on. They going up in there crazy. That's about it. You
now
ain't
if
gonna
they
see it.
talk about due to the legalization of marijuana, all these fast food spots is getting hit up for food and they ain't taking the cash. And I could be like, yo, you know what? Yeah, I can see that. They just looking for something to eat. But like, come on. Really?
And you got to be careful where you get your news from. You know that's what I've learned, man. Because your sources matter. You know, but they put out misinformation, and you feed into that. And you start believing it because you watch it every night. And I'm not trying to shit on Fox News, but they bullshit. Excuse me. You just got to be careful where you get your news from, man. And
Yeah, man.
read. You know what I mean? Google is your friend, huh? Who
Uh,
told you?
Shout out to Vegas all day, low shot glass.
Uh,
I made the smaller so I can make it through the show.
Shouts out to Vegas. I heard Stobin the one that fight out in Vegas. I heard it was a boring fight, but I heard he pulled off the W. So shouts out to him. Uh, Let me see what else I heard over there. The weekend was one other event that happened. I'm trying to remember what that was, but anyway, a whole bunch of other news any damn way.
But what happened? What was going on with the Essence Fest? Because I seen some of that.
The Essence Fest. I don't know. I haven't. I'm not up to speed
Oh,
on that.
dude, bro. When I tell you they had Wu Tang out, they had
Wu Tang was there. What there was? What these were performances, or they were just there?
yeah, performances.
Oh,
Performances.
okay.
Wu
Oh,
Tang, Janet
uh,
Jackson. Like it
oh,
was when I tell you DJ turned dug in the crates for that one.
yeah.
It was it was amazing. They had New Edition. All members of New Edition. Every
Everybody
single last one of them, bro. And I
on
was
deck.
yo, Bobby, all of them.
Uh,
Bell
okay.
Biv DeVoe, like all it because if people remember, New Edition, then when they broke up, everybody had like kind of their solo careers or groups or whatever. But
Yeah,
bro, they all looked amazing. And they was all singing. And they
yeah.
was all doing their thing. Yo, even Bobby Brown was doing his thing. I was like, yo,
He
this
better
is
have his. He
wow.
better have his ass up there.
Yeah. Like it was, and I don't know who said it. And he's like, yeah, New Edition, all 6 members on stage, not 4, not 5, all 6.
That's
I
what's
said,
up.
yo, you know what? That's freaking amazing.
As it should be. You know what I mean? If everybody's considered to be a member of the group and they healthy and they strong and they can do it, they need to be out there on the road getting that money.
Yo, bro, when I tell you and you know how they had their solo careers, some of them were, although all of them was on stage,
Yeah.
some of them did their solo music. They one night that I watched it, it was they ended the night, but it was warranted, but because nobody would have been able to follow them
Well, I mean, it's kind of
after
hard to
it.
follow
Like,
all of that. Everybody's solo career was phenomenal. It's not like any of them did something on their own and it flopped. Even BBD was, slated to not do well, and they actually did all right. You know what I mean? They didn't do great, super great, but they did all right. You know what I mean? In the eyes of the culture, you know what I mean? They were very well received, and I don't recall what the sales were or anything like that, but I believe that was a good run for them. So everybody had a good run on a solo trip, if you ask me.
right. So I thought it was great, man. But a lot of those things I don't watch, but I happen to watch it.
Oh, you gonna get your money's worth for the New Edition show. I seen them live,
Oh,
but Bobby wasn't on stage. Was Bobby with them this time? No, this was in Madison Square Garden. I don't want to say the year. Bobby might have been there. Bobby might have been there. Yeah, I think Bobby was there because if I recall, okay, now I'm gonna set the stage for you. Okay, boom. Just like you say, New Edition got a show. Everybody is, got their solo part. They're gonna do their thing. This was after Ralph went solo, I believe, and did Sensitivity and all of that. You know what I'm saying? This is around that time. Y'all know, y'all go do your research, you'll find out the year, whatever. So if I recall correctly, also at this time, Bobby was still married to Whitney. God bless her dead. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say by this time they was married. And he came out and he did his thing. First of all, he came out in a mink coat. Let's just put that out there first. He came out wearing a mink coat. He said they told me to come out here and show my ass, so I wore a mink. And he just stood there and threw his arms up like screaming and shit. So he did. Of course, he had to come out there and do My Prerogative. So he got to the part where he goes, they say I'm nasty, but I don't give a damn. Getting girls is how I live. That part right there. Yeah. So Whitney is sitting less than 20 feet away from him, right behind the set, out of the spotlight. But she's there because I see her. You feel me? And he gets to that part and he turns and kind of like looks over his shoulder and looks and says, "Yeah, getting girls is how I used to live." You know what I'm saying? The crowd goes, you see Whitney throw up her hand like, "That's right." You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. So it was a moment, my dude. It was a moment. But yeah, it was the biggest thing since sliced bread for a long time, man. New Edition put on a hell of a show.
For real. Yeah, man. So, our guest is supposed to be popping in. We got a lot of stuff that we need to do before.
Yeah, we need to get it out the way. We was proficient like fuck last week, boy. We cleaned house like it was springtime. Got it all done.
We done hit everything, and
we hit all the marks.
All of it. So, what you want to get into? You want to get into?
I think last week we hit them with the old first. Let's hit them with the new first this week.
All right, we gonna hit them with the new school, y'all. Man,
the new
check it out.
First you're dealing with a true West Side Californian. Rest in peace, DMX, here we go again. If your body fake, you don't get a husband in a diamond. Just dick in the cubic zirconian. This how I lay crack. I gotta pay you to date you, that's where the game at. You know what, I ain't tripping, I got some cake stack. I was trying to get to know you, but if you a prostitute, bitch, say that. I see you get naked for a grand, why bother? To take you to dinner, your OnlyFans $9. Trying to clown a nigga that couldn't afford to book your flight. Ain't that a bitch? You and yourself don't even look alike. Yes, you're a hoe, you belong to the street. That's why you subbing who you fucking with Justin LaBoy tweet. Yes, you a hoe. You belong to the street. That's why you subbing who you fucking with Justin LaBoy tweet.
They got some game. Stop in peace. A cough leaves your mouth at 60 miles per hour. Bitch, get the fuck away from me.
That was definitely a vibe. That was definitely a vibe.
Sugar Free, the OG. Oh my good, it just made it, dude. It's that vibe. That vibe. Yeah, man. Hey, somebody got to talk about this stuff. You can't just let it lay dormant and not deal with it, man. Sometimes you got to look the problem head on and face it, and go through it, man. That's the only way you're gonna get around the problem. You got to go through it, man.
Yo, an old boy, what is his name? The one that Kim Kardashian was Dave something. What the hell is his name?
Say that again. You was going in and
out. The guy that Kim Kardashian is with now, the actor,
Pete Davis. Pete Davis.
Oh, Pete Davis.
Yeah, okay. AKA Skeet.
Yo, the crazy part is, like, no lie.
It kills me.
Yo, like, I guess his money long. I have no idea what it is, but
well, I don't know about his money being long, but I've heard some rumors.
But
so, it could be that brother might be going on a lot of trips, but You don't see no luggage, you dig?
But it's wild though because they say opposites attract. They say certain things, is just you'll see a woman that is categorized as like a 10, right? And be with a dude that's like a 2. To me, it don't even make no sense. But somehow, some way, it resonates.
You know what that is, man. You know what that is, Pete Money. Come on.
Well, it's because look, I can tell you this. Dudes that are 2s, they got time to focus on their money, their bag, and everything else. So they very well established. They're very well built. They know how to hold their own. And not to say it this way, but those 10s ain't used to working for nothing. They used to getting everything they need to get.
Right.
Because they focus on their look. And that dude don't mind paying for it. Because he could throw it away. Because he got enough of it to throw away.
You'll hear some people say sometimes, "Oh, this dude with a bunch of money is just doing this, that, and the third, and he's messing up the game for everybody else." No, truly, I'm gonna tell you who's messing up the game. The people who are messing up the game are the ones who aren't rich, and they're still simping and throwing their money away and trying to do what they can do to chase after and entice these women. You know what I mean? Because you, of all people, need to be concentrating more on your paper. You feel me? That's what you need to be chasing. If you don't, even if you don't have it to trick off, then you definitely shouldn't be doing it. And that's really who's saturating the game and getting it fucked up.
Fact all the way live hip hop. I definitely get what you're saying, bro.
It's a little church for you.
Yeah,
man. Shouts out to the OG Sugar Free though, for real though, man. I mean, that's heavy. I saw a picture recently where he met. He was on stage. He came off the stage to greet Bishop Don Magic Juan in the crowd rather. Stop the show. You know what I mean? That's an OG salute right there.
But I would say on that note, it's okay to whip your kid's ass.
Hell yeah.
Because if once we stop doing that, that's when all shit went to hell. It takes a village to raise a child, and the child should respect the village. So, and I think my daughter is getting the biggest lesson of her life, spending a week and a half with my mother alone.
Woo, boy!
There is no buffer. I'm not the buffer. She can't run to me. Sorry, I'm not there. You're
you're gonna get a phone call. It's gonna sound. You're gonna get a phone call. It's gonna sound like she called it collect from jail. You feel me?
Help
under
me.
pressure. Yeah. It's not like I thought it was gonna be.
No, but shout out to being in New York. For as long as I was in New York, the last couple of weeks. Well, actually, probably a month and a half. Definitely, I was glad to be able to see my family. The only one I didn't get to see was my brother. Me and him speak all the time, but I got to see my sister that I don't see. I see her every 1,000 Sunday. Like it really like kind of crazy like that because she live upstate. So I got to see her, got to see some of my other family, and all that, and it was real cool. Like it was just love all day.
That's what's up, bro. It's all about the family, Family. I was just telling somebody today, family first, man. Everything else got to take a back seat, man. Especially when your kids is involved. Hey, everything else got to wait. I hear all these horror stories about these terrible parents letting things happen to their kid. Damn, kid, I know you heard about the kid that fell out the damn building on what was that? 100 something street, 134th, 139th, some shit like that, out the 29th floor, some shit.
Really?
Happened today, man. Yeah, or wow. recently, yesterday or today. I think it was today.
Wow.
ridiculous.
That's
Feeling
crazy.
gotta be,
People don't pay attention.
yeah, man. It only takes a minute, Only takes a minute. You fucking around on your phone, or got the virtual reality glasses on or something, whatever.
Yo, and we really it was, and I seen a meme, and it was, I can't remember what it was, but the gist of it was is that, back in the day we didn't have cell phone, we didn't have social media. But they
Right.
tell us that social media was to help us to connect. But what it actually did was cause people to disconnect from their family. Right? You're
That
so
and
caught up, you can see what everybody else is doing that you're not paying attention to what's in front of you.
that's a factor, and it's also been utilized as a marketing tool, and you know a revenue stream for a lot of people. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing in certain cases, but there are a lot of people on Instagram that are scammers, that are dishonest, that kind of take advantage of people and get them for money and stuff like that. I'm not speaking from a victim standpoint. Before y'all say, "Oh, he must have got God," no, there ain't been none of that. I'm just saying I know what goes down because I know people who are fucking scammers. Getting money on Instagram. Don't call my phone, po. Um, but yeah, it's a gift and a curse. It's great to connect people and stay in touch with people, relatives, especially if you live far apart. That's great, wonderful. But then they always find a way to take something that's pure and unadulterated and taint it and make it dirty and utilize it in some way to make a profit. Everybody's no pun intended, but somebody's always out to try and get a buck for in some new way, some new innovative way, and when Instagram and before even TikTok, like what was the other one? There was another one, WhatsApp, and uh
Well, you had MySpace, you had
well, not
Smoke.
that far back, not that far back. I'm talking about
Oh, not that far back.
when we started getting the apps to our phone,
Oh,
like uh, uh,
what was it that you said?
whatever the
TikTok.
dating apps are. I don't know what the dating apps are called, but once all of that stuff started becoming popular, then that's when the whole paradigm shifted. And then, like you say, the attention started to go more to the devices and less to the
To
relationships
the
with
people.
people. There's people to this day that I probably should have a better relationship with myself, but I only speak to through the device. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's great because I still stay in touch. I can still reach out and speak to that loved one or that friend or whatever. But it would be even better to go see a motherfucker and actually hug them and everything. And we need more of that, man. We need more going to check our loved ones and staying in touch with our loved ones, man. Because when they gone, man.
They're going, and there's no social media, there's no hashtag or nothing that can reconnect you in that way.
Man,
And
listen, they had
so
they
we
had
got our guests in the building.
they had an Instagram to connect you to heaven. You know how many people be subscribed to that mug?
Yo, but there was a show. Like, I forgot what the name of the show was. Damn it! You know what? That I'm gonna find that joint, and that's what we go. I'm gonna give them the movie of the week. What?
Okay, I
Because it
got
was when you could sit there and pass that. When a person passed away, there was an option to basically take their soul and put it in this virtual reality. They
uh
still live on in this virtual reality, and you're able to communicate with them and all that. Like, they kind of keep them alive for you forever. Like, it was some weird shit. But
yeah.
we definitely going to talk about that later. But we got our guests in the building. So what we going to do is we're going to get into the top 5 of the week. And
Yes,
then when
sir.
we come back,
In no
guess
particular order.
gonna be in no particular order, right? Where the hell did it go? Oh, here you go. All right, here we go, y'all. Because this the
Now this observation for free. Picture Sonny sitting down as he conversating with C. Then the bikers roll by in combinations of 3. Where they headed, nobody know, but we obligated to see. Listen, they stopped at the corner to park the bikes, walk right into the bar. We hope they don't start a fight. And Sonny right behind them, it looked like he caught a flight. Met them as they hit the door, and already saw they was hyped. Listen, Sonny man said you not dressed properly. Of course you getting turned away, how you expect not to be?
Said a nigga can't eat, huh? Who said it? Who? Get back. Yeah. I'm in the kitchen, wanna whip it. Fucking chicken. It's on my wrist, that fit. Said a nigga can't eat, huh? Who said it? Who? Get back. I'm in the kitchen, wanna whip it. Fucking chicken. It's on my wrist,
Literally, it's wise to get to know me. The prize trophy and face to the money bag emoji. Certified OG, multiple felon with no code.
Just pocket rocket, gon' hit him. Two bullets burning like venom. It's like Mad Quest, the way that these bullets traveling all in them. I trap, so you know I got cracks all in my denim. No matter what it got on it, they ain't catching it with them. Fighting for your life in the ICU. You eating through IV2s, and none of your mother's prayers is gonna help you pull through. Screaming, who is I scurrying the coop? Belt chicken like Purdue, counting letters like I'm doing inventory in Purdue, nigga. I got the juice like I do Bishop off the roof, nigga.
Late night, see my mama pray on the knees. You get caught up, close your mouth and take one for the team. If you backbiting, just know that hatred to disease. And if trapping was a sport, I'll be the face of the league. Every nigga sat at my table, large portions. War shit, when the plug front you, it feel like an endorsement. Drop a ticket, I'ma fuck up the game. Cut off my ex bitch, bitch was a sucker for lames. Every Sunday I collect the debt. And if you ain't got it by 5 p.m., I'm coming by 7 to collect the bread.
All I do is fly shit at the sky, miles up. Nothing's too much money, figure how to make it up. I fuck 2 sisters once at the same time, y'all thought I made it up. Played bitches like Broadway, matinee and up. Red, white, blue, Ewins, gold medal came with them. I bought them out in Paris, that was the last time wearing them. You won't find a pair of them, ain't no comparing them. I be in my rarest form, hitting bitches from the rear, disappearing them. If it ain't about money, I don't care enough. It all has purpose, nothing random. Boston be my area, but I be everywhere.
Yeah. Now I want to say this.
What's that?
The first one that popped up,
RJ Payne.
that one
Yeah.
was to me,
Yeah.
that's hip hop at its finest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's from, RJ is cut from the cloth that we from. That whole era, and when bars was a priority, not a option or a choice.
Like how
And-
did
and
he
he-
use a whole movie clip?
But no, this is the thing. He's got a whole series of them. Like right now, he does one about Boys in the Hood. He does one about Menace to Society. He does one about that one right there about Bronx Tale. What was the other one? The other shit, I got it in the car and I can't remember the name of it. But it's like all of the cult following favorites that, you know what I'm saying, in our community, pretty much. He does that. That's what he does. Of course, the Nino Brown one. We played that on the show already.
Yeah, but we played that in the I think it was, I want to say it was last week.
Alina's cousin. He does. That's the one about Men's Society thing. Alina's cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's, but right there, that right there, connected, and it's bringing the past to the present.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
it.
And it's making you go back and look at that now, like, oh snap, like, because now when you watch the movie, things that he's saying make even more sense, So it encourages you to go and watch the movie again, which is really cool. But yeah, man, RJ, he does his thing.
Yeah.
Shouts
So
out
let's
to
bring
RJ.
our guest to the building right now. Let's get it, y'all.
Reelz.
We got Reelz in the building.
In the building.
In the building.
Good.
In the
How's everybody?
studio.
Yo, you are on the spot. You know what that means? This is real barbershop talk right now.
Okay, I like barbecues. I like being on the spot, so it is what it is. Let's get it.
He's like being on the spot. No, this is
Man,
it's
listen,
a testosterone based show, but every now and again we'll have a female guest, but that's few and far between. So it's mostly the fellas. We talk that talk, and
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. So feel free to say whatever. You ain't gotta pull no punches. You know what I'm saying. You can cuss if you want. So
yeah,
feel-
get my ass in trouble.
Yeah,
Right.
man. You know what I'm saying? So feel at home, kick your feet up, man, and you know what I'm saying. We tell it like a TI is.
All right.
Yeah. So tell the people about yourself, my guy.
All right, so Reelz, I'm out of New York, out of Roosevelt, Long Island originally. Home of Eddie Murphy, Dr. J, everybody else, Public Enemy. I mean, there's so many stars that came out of that one little square mile is ridiculous. So my little start into the rap game, into the industry was I was the little brother to a rap group that used to run around in studios. They got signed to Teddy Riley back in the day when Teddy Riley had Guy. He had this thing, GR Productions, where they got a production deal. So I was the little brother with my brother running around pushing buttons in the studio and breaking things and getting in trouble for it. But eventually, from them having that, my brother got his own studio, his own equipment, started learning, met Teddy back then, met a lot of people back then, and just kind of stayed with music. Went to school for it. Then kind of through the avenue of one of my boys, Biz Beats, meeting a guy who worked for Universal, got me in the studio, so started working for Universal for a little bit. So I started meeting people, seeing things I didn't need to see, and love the industry. But it's a funny place, boy, I tell you. It's a great place to be in. It's great. It's even better where you can be in the industry now, where you can stay independent, get your money, play the sidelines. You can be forefront if you want, or you can play the side and get your bank. And I love it like that.
He said record label. He said, what do you say? Record industry rule number 1080.
Niggas shady. That's another thing. Tribe Quest is my top #1 favorite all-time group of all times. Peace to them. I'm so mad we lost Fife, but yo, they left a legacy. Definitely.
Yeah, man, for sure. You know,
Yo, and that's what's up. And you talking about the mall and all that. I grew up in Harlem. I moved out to Rosedale. And then I shopped out where you from.
Yep.
Like that was the mall.
That's funny. That's right. That's right.
I'm just telling you, like that's
more.
Seasons. I don't know the last time you've been out there, but Seasons. There's a restaurant out there. Have you been there?
I've been there. Funny thing is, I've been out there recently. And recently, I mean, it changed up. It's a bigger mall. It's Simon, which all the malls kind of look the same right now, so to speak. But it's still the same vibe. It's not as grimy. Like you gotta admit, like New York has changed. You saying being from Rosedale, I live in Laurelton now, so it's different now. It's not the same. Now you can walk around and you look at people, you kind of laugh. 20 years ago, they couldn't walk down them same blocks or same places.
It's the same thing I be saying. Same thing.
Laurelton is right there around the corner. Like, my people's just still in Rosedale. But
absolutely,
like Laurelton is like it's just like, oh, okay, that's just down the block. But it is wild just knowing that, being able to recognize that the streets and everything have changed in New York. But there's upside and a downside to that. Because remember, hip hop was that thing that they didn't want to happen.
Not at all. Not at all. Everything about hip hop back then was like, what's that mess? Got hippity hoppity stuff. And now
But do you realize that from the time that it started, we was talking about how we're struggling and all that in the music, that they came into our communities. Like hip hop has been great for us, right? And we've had great individuals and wonderful careers made out of hip hop.
Right.
But it also given us our voice, put a spotlight on us, and it was like, yo, we need to take over where they're at.
Right.
And that's what has happened. Because they took over hip hop, they took over our communities, they took over
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree.
So you saying that was kind of like a, I don't know, a window into what's going on in the hood. So therefore, that's when they took the, you know what I'm saying? That's when they took the initiative to say we're gonna go and take the land P money. Wow.
I mean,
That's really deep. That's really deep. What you just dropped on the people right there. That's deep, brother.
we can also think we can start saying government theories and all of that because that's kind of what it comes into. Conspiracy theories. Well, you know, music. There's different ways to control people. Music being one of them, religion being another one. Just stick to music.
Yeah.
Politics being another one. But of course, when you start to see money being generated amongst black people and black people being the number one generator of everything, when we do something, we move industry, we move public, we move everything. So once they started to see, oh wow, they making money off of this, then the message started changing. Remember, hip hop was positive until about 89, 90, 91. And then all of a sudden, the frequency, the vibration changed. It went from where everybody was doing some peace, unity, yo, don't curse, yo, who you calling a bitch? It went West Coast, and I'm never gonna knock Dre, Snoop, the whole West Coast vibe, but gangster rap, and we had gangster rap before gangster rap, but the whole thing
before it was called gangster rap, right?
Yeah, the frequency.
We used to call it Cool G rap.
Yeah. we definitely it had its things, you know what I mean? And then it shifted. The same women was like, who you calling a bitch is like, now you can call me a bitch, and I want you to call me a bitch and tell me why I am that bitch.
Not only a bitch, but a bad bitch now.
A bad bitch. The baddest bitch.
Yeah, gotta call me a bad bitch.
It went so crazy where we had one lady who we loved and adored, who was a natural looking 5'4" person of, you know who I'm talking about. I won't mention her name out of respect. Hip hop will change shit. The industry will change shit. People's perceptions will change shit. It started from her being one thing until somebody's perception said, "Nah, you gotta be this." So now we got what we got.
Talking about Lil Kim.
I'm not out of respect. Out of respect for legends, I don't mention names like that. I grew
up with Kim, so I know exactly what you're talking about. That's real rap. She was always beautiful to us the way that she was. You know what I'm saying?
And
she's like you say, Hollywood.
In my eyes, she's Hollywood, the same thing.
Yeah, Hollywood and different influences and people get inside your ears and start making you think that, you know, you gotta look a certain way to be beautiful to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But first you gotta be beautiful to yourself. You know what I mean? I think that's it's all about self-love. And if you don't have love for yourself, then what everybody else says about you is going to dictate what you know what I'm saying? Well, how you move, how you maneuver.
And this all started from that shift in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was the shift. Then we go ahead. Now we get into the 2000s. All right, we kind of mellow out, and then we start getting into the pink movements, the money movements. It's all about drinking, vibing, platinum, gold, this, and we started spending our money in the jewelry and industry. Then Jay said, you know what? Fuck that. We ain't doing that no more. And everybody said, all right, we ain't doing that no more. We going corporate. And when it went corporate, it went corporate. Once the record companies realized, we can't sell units more because these people realize how to stream independently. How can we control them? Well, change the message, change the narrative. We'll get them by looking at TV. We'll have everything negative in TV. All your favorite rappers getting killed. We got like over, almost 100 rappers killed this year. Some of them you might not even know who they are. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Stuff like that. Or because the message got killed. Shout out to my boy Just Call Me Out popping in on this one. Perfect example. Self-destruction. He's saying a self-destruction song. It can never be made right now because we don't have. It's like we got a few positive rappers. You can count on two hits.
But we don't have enough to make another self-destruction. You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? So with all that being said, the whole thing, why the music industry is controlling, why the government's in hip hop, how everything got started. They seen where the money could be made. They see how they control it. And even now, the message is crazy. So it's like, you look at it, people who are signed right now, you got a record deal, the whole nine. You're on the radio, you hear the same 5 songs every day. That's great. Now you look at being unsigned. You got all these different avenues where Shade 45, Drake got a channel, Sirius X. You got so many different avenues to collect your bag and money. So now the record industry is looking at y'all, everybody else, like, well, we can give you this 360 deal. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We get 360. So that means you can just basically get my face where I can't get my face at.
Right.
So now with social media, we can do that our own. Now with a good publicist, hey, how you doing, Reelz? Know what I mean? Y'all don't know me from nothing, but y'all got to know me enough that I got here. And I mean, it's volumes. Everything in this industry, it's like everything is like a facade. Everything, like that whole thing, roll your boat. I bet everybody's learned this. Life is but a dream. Pay attention to that. Yo, those little lullabies and things we learned when we was a kid, pay attention to those because they drop jewels to us.
Yeah.
Life is but a dream. Dreams is what you make.
But they with those things that we learned in school, the golden rule, all that stuff was what they put out there to control us. And I know we're supposed to be talking about the music and all that wonderful stuff, but you just touched on something, and I can't let it go.
Nah, you talking to Reelz. Let's get it. Let's talk about it.
But like I was going to say, like, you know, the golden rule. If we sat there and we broke down Star Spangled Banner, if we broke all that down, bro, they've been telling us we gonna control you forever, and this is how we gonna do it to you. We gonna put this out there and give you enough, but we gonna take more than what we give you.
Absolutely. And the only choice you have is to either go with the program or wake up. And what's happening in the last few years, everybody's starting to wake up. Things are starting to shift. I mean, not to get political and kind of sidebar this whole Roe versus Wade thing.
Yeah.
Bro, people are shifting. People are like, wait, now people are starting to wake up like, oh shit, the government's doing what? Yeah. If your daughter gets, unfortunately, something happens to her, anything happens, she can't do nothing about it. The fuck you talking about? Now people are starting to shift and wake up. Now it takes things like that to wake up the sheeple, to wake up people who's kind of kicking their head and ducking on. None of this affects me. You gotta wake up. You gotta see what's going on, bro. And even with the music game, like I tell people all the time, it's not. You could be famous, you could be infamous. When you want to be, you know what I mean? It's cool to be famous. Everybody fuck knows you. It's great. It's better to be infamous where niggas know the legend. they heard about you, but they don't know what you really did. But they know, they just know you was a part of some shit. They just know whatever you did, got you there. You know what I mean?
You got
one thing.
Point there. I want to know. I'm quite sure there's always speculation about where the name originated. I would like to think, since you was, messing with the equipment from early on, that possibly at some point or another, you across your travels, you probably came into contact with the 2-inch reel machines. So I'm thinking reel to reel. Maybe Reelz came and then he's a real at what he does, or he's a real dude, or
it's a little bit.
I'm getting all those kind of vibes, but I want you to explain it.
So it's funny. It's real funny. I'm gonna keep this shit so a buck because I actually told this story to somebody I was talking to earlier. So I used to have a nickname named Diablo, means devil, because niggas run around rapping without.
P Money could, he could hablo a little Espanol, so he knows what you're talking about.
I got
it. So what happened one time, long story short, even getting longer, me and my boys was at a traffic stop and statute of limitations is up. So we using a traffic stop in Virginia. What happened was I was speeding and was caught like 2 cops within 15 minutes. So the second cop I start spilling the story like, we kind of famous. We going out to do this show real quick in the college radio, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we just going out there to check my boy's girl. We just going to visit, but I'm doing a spin to try to get out this fucking ticket. But I should have relayed that shit to my boys because the cop took all the boys individually. Like, so what y'all going to do? So after the whole story, he's like, what y'all call this boy Diablo? True, real? This boy falls from now on. He can't tell no more fucking stories. Make sure he can tell the truth. That's it. And that was the running joke. All right. So after that, I was on some shit like, yo, let me just real shit. I gotta keep my shit together amongst my boys. And when I tell the story, just make sure shit's right. But let me just keep it real. So it started out REAL. It became the Real Music Group because I like doing real music, like work with real people. So that's how the whole Real Music Group came about. Now, Reelz, how that came about is actually from my boy Young, because every time he see me like, Reelz, what's good? I love the way that sound, and I fuck with the Reelz, and being real can go wrong sometimes. So I don't want niggas to start testing how real is he. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I fight when I need to, but I'm a lover, not a fighter, and girls know that about me. That's just that. So it's one of the things. So the name changed to Reelz, and it just kind of stuck with me. So the whole story became from that cop making that little statement, running around with my boys, to my boys just saying Reelz, then me being in the studio, became Reelz, and it just kind of stuck. And then my boy realized, my boy just called me out, my rap partner. That's a whole nother story. Also, because I skipped out a lot of story. I mean, used to rap. We actually had a deal on the table with Def Jam at one time. Just us being around, running around with Unabomber back in the day. This is like early 2000s where BET was doing battle raps and all that shit. Well, we was doing producing and running around and rapping, and we was doing a lot of shows and got buzz. And from that point, we had some deals on the table. You know, shit happens. And then we went from there. Now we're like, my boy just called me out, still spitting. I'm an engineer. I'm getting back into rapping every now and then. I might drop something here and there. But it's just my team is like, my core team is real strong right now. I got to shout them out real quick. Jamal Milton just called me out. That's my boy Al Taylor, my boy Snooze Daily, my boy Enigma Mike Smith, my boy Mike Shoddy. Oh my God, my boy Star. It's so many, my boy Limelight, my boy Lee. Yo, it's mad fellas that I roll with, but I got a core that like my boy's been around forever and we've been doing our things. And it's just like it's nice to see where everybody's at right now and how things are being lit. Like I need y'all to get Just Call Me Out on the interview, and I need y'all to get Jamal Milton on the interview. If y'all was looking at the UFC Saturday night when Chad Carnier was walking out, he's playing the song Shaka Zulu. That was made by my boy Jamal Milton. So 6 degrees of separation. And the funny thing the conversation I always laugh about is with this industry shit is like the industry is what you make it. It could be your real life friends that you grew up with that y'all was just like at one point doing music together, grinding together, and now because that perseverance, now you doing it, and now you out. My bad, my bad. Let me go back. If I don't mention my boy La name, my boy LOG1K, he's gonna kick my ass. La, you were definitely that nigga. So with all that being said, like with all my niggas, it's like we all stayed strong in what we did. My path was a little bit different because I had a kid early, or my daughter came about a little bit earlier, so I had to play the daddy role, family role, and do what I had to do and hustle, while others did what they had to do. And we all have different paths, but we all here now, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's just a beautiful thing to see where everybody's at.
Tell us the first piece of equipment you started to learn in the studio.
SP 1200.
Yes,
all right. Let me see. Here's the thing about learning some things. The word initialize. All right. On the SP 1200, when you're a kid and your brother just got this $10,000 piece of equipment and the disc just come in the mail, you like, yo, I want to make some beats. You stick the disc in, but you don't have headphones and you don't know where to plug the wires in, right? So you press the buttons. You like, why is there no sound? So you hit this button and it says initialize. So you hit it. And then nothing happens. And you're like, all right, fuck it. Well, you go through 5 discs, nothing happens. Comes back later, your brother comes in. He's like, I was like, yeah, I just hit the shit name initialize. He's like, you know what that means? I'm like, no. He's like, that means erase. I'm like, oh. So at 9 years old, getting my ass whipped made me realize, sometimes you may want to ask people before you touch shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may want to learn what things are.
That hurt. I know that hurt, boy.
It hurt, and it was a blessing at the same time because then we had to learn how to sample things into the SP 1200. Right. And now it's records. Sample this, sample that. All right, cool. Now we got it rocking. So Gift and the Curse, does he still look at me like, yo, you're an idiot for that? Hell yeah. He will mention that and bring that up every now and then. Yes, he will.
So you have a unique standpoint because you know what I'm saying, you've been on that production side of things for so long. From a production standpoint, what was your favorite era for hip hop?
Favorite era for hip hop. I'm gonna have to say it's really 88 to 97.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Really, we heard one like that. That wide.
It's because I mean, and I can even go back to 86, but I want to say 88 because it was just like It Takes a Nation of Millions album came out. That's like Big Daddy Kane coming out. 88 was a revolutionary year for hip hop. Like everything that came out in 88 set it straight. Cliche-ish, I know, but real shit. 88 was that year. Why 97? It's the year Biggie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember being at McDonald's and that shit happening, and it was like March 5th.
Yeah.
97. Like, yeah. And that was like the day hip hop kind of died on my shit. Where this could be a shit now. No more Biggie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the shift. And then from that point on, we definitely seen the shift. It definitely was the East Coast, West Coast shit. I mean, it fucked us up. And it's surprisingly enough, you thought we'd have learned the lesson, but then you got things happening like rest in peace, King Vaughn.
Yeah.
Bro. You know what I mean? When you had, and just to speak on King Vaughn a little bit, I only know him because of a friend that put me on to him. I only know him because he died. Then you listen to the music and you like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was on some storytelling shit. He was spitting some shit. Yeah. But a lot of people, older heads, I don't know what it is when people turn 35 in this music business. Sorry if the accent come out. But people turn 35 and older, they have a certain thing in the music business where they're like, I don't want to listen to this. It's just like how our parents was when hip hop first started. Like, I encourage y'all older motherfuckers, y'all 50-year-old kings in this hip hop to go listen to a 21 Savage. Please.
Yeah.
Please. 21.
Yeah.
Please. Go listen to King Vaughn. Go listen to Estikion. God bless the dead again. Go listen to all that shit. Why? Yeah. Because that's you when you was that age. That's a reflection. And on some shit, you can learn something from these young boys. So learn. Don't sit up here and start hating like, yo, why ain't here? Why I ain't doing this? Why I ain't doing that? I was listening to this. I was listening, well, actually looking at a Redman interview he was doing with not Mos Def, my bad, with Talib Kweli, right? And he was talking about K Solo, how K Solo is the big brother. K Solo giving him that phone call, like, yeah, bro, I see you shining out there. I see you doing what you're doing. And just the fact that K Solo, he ain't in the spotlight no more, but he's still playing that bigger brother role. Like, yo, I got you. And he knows that opportunity is saying supporting that man is going to support him and vice versa. Brotherhood, love, shit like that the hip hop community needs to do more of. So many times that you hear in the hip hop community, yo, these older niggas ain't giving me love. And these young niggas like, what can I learn from these older niggas? A lot. Learn about these contracts. Y'all older niggas learn about streaming. Younger niggas learn how to maneuver these contracts. Learn how to get, y'all know how to get money off of merch. I see y'all younger niggas know how to do that because we all know how to do it. And then realize that it's not about young and old. It's really about hip hop versus everybody else. Ain't no color. Ain't no nothing. It's hip hop versus everybody else. Once we adopt that and we see what it is, shit. That's why when Kanye says, yo, I want to be a president, he can get that because if he got hip hop behind him, even though he's crazy as shit, but he's a genius. All geniuses is bad shit crazy. He has hip hop on.
Well, I don't know. He's batshit crazy. Definitely crazy as cat shit. But you know what I'm saying? You definitely got to have a little bit of crazy, I guess, to be a genius. And you know what I call him a genius? I don't know. I think Stevie Wonder's a genius. You feel me? I don't know if I would call Kanye a genius or Kanye as we call him around here. But anyway, we should move on.
Everybody's gonna have their different opinion about Kanye, but like, all right, it's like legacy. You gotta respect what he's done to bring him to this point. Everything's not gonna be all like green and good. And
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If that boy mama was alive right to this day, right now, Donda West was walking around breathing healthy, like alive.
He would be a different person. He would be a different person.
A factory right there. That's it. I ain't got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta say, congratulations to Big Sean and Janae Aiko. They're about to have a baby together.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing.
So we want, because I don't want to run out of time, but I want to make sure that we get to some of the stuff that you produce for the people that are listening, the people that are watching, the people that are watching later. It's important that they know that you are a producer. You make music.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got a couple of joints. We got the jazz, we got the 90s, and then we got Drake. Okay. Now with what we was just talking about, I think you know, when you was talking about the hip hop era and whatever, the 90s, I think will really fall into that, like
Right.
legit kind of fall with what you just said. So let's bring that to the people, and then we'll go into the other two joints. But we got 3 for the people, but we definitely gonna get into this 90s. So you already know. I want you to introduce it for the people and let them know before we even play it. What was your inspiration in its production before we play it for the people?
My inspiration for this production, if y'all some 90s or 80s babies and y'all had Channel 5, Fox 5, when they had the black shows on, when you had Living Single, then New York Undercover, that's what the 90s is about. Those Thursdays nights, those nights when those shows came on, that was the sound, that was the vibe. Like Living Single, you can still look at the beginning of that show and see Big Les doing the dance and the whole 9 and feel that vibe. That's what the 90s is about. It's a vibe.
Yes.
So let's get it, yo. Because you already know it's the Yeah, and we back.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I got a question
Okay.
for you, right?
What up?
When it comes to when you sit there and when you get in that, because that '90s joint really brought me back, because before we was putting lyrics over beats,
Mm-hmm.
right? We had the drums, we had our instruments, and that was the vibe that I got from that. Like that's what it was. It was like
Well, it was an
it,
instrumental. P Money.
no, But I'm no,
I'm like, it is an instrumental. They like,
no, I know, but before, but the instrumental is always that thing. Like when we sit there and we think about hip hop, when we
we
talk
used to
music,
throw them on. You saying like on the regular?
right? Just you just throw it on and you just kind of vibe out to it. But if you went to like a jazz club, if you went to some of these places where they weren't artists, you just had the band in the back. They created that environment.
Right.
So what I got from that was everything that you put in with the switching up. I just want to know, how is it that, what was your inspiration behind that right there?
I'm going to say you have a very good judge of, you listen very well. All right, let's start with band. One key thing you mentioned is band. So when I was growing up, I was in marching band. So everything in music has a place, it has a section, it has a place. It's supposed to be there. Even when you're mixing, things have to be panned a certain way, certain things, drums are up front, bass is in the back, different ways to do things. So even when I produce, it's like a certain order. Like with that one, I think I chopped up the sample first, and I was like, all right, I kind of like the way I chopped up the sample. Let me go boom, boom, pat. Oh yeah, it's boom back. Let me do that. And literally like 15, 20 minutes later, it's like, all right, cool. All right, we throw that to the side. Then you kind of forget about things. And then with me, it's like I produce and then I mix, and then I might send it out the engineer to mix it for me, to master for me, or I might do it myself. Sometimes I may sit on things. So by the time I got to the other engineer and he started doing what he's doing, I was like, oh yeah. Bring it back out. So it's one of those things that when you do something and you create, there's a process to it. Follow the process and let other ears hear it, because other people will hear things that you may not and may bring other things out. And then you get to look at your stuff and be like, oh shit, it's other ideas. Brings me into this whole thing about ghostwriting. Really quick on ghostwriting. When you're doing R&B, you can ghostwrite. When you're rapping, if I'm sitting in a room and it's a bunch of my niggas and I'm like, yo, well, I'm trying to kill this nigga, but I need another, and my boy comes up with a quick end bar, he's not ghostwriting. He's giving me an idea. Now, I might take that idea and put it, cool. Some rappers will give him the credit, some rappers don't. Is that ghostwriting? No, because that's how ciphers are. I don't know how long y'all been scribing, but when I scribe and I'm amongst people, it is what it is. Or you might put yourself in the corner and then you go spit your shit, then you hear some shit, and you're like, let me go rewrite my shit. Whatever it is. But you get influences around you. Now, this whole new era of this ghostwriting shit, like, again, guess we get into a track named Drake, right? Can we say Drake is the best rapper if he has ghostwriters? Is the ghostwriters for the R&B or is it for the raps? Which one is it? Because he is a multi-talented, he's multifaceted. Like he's doing, he can go do New Jersey house. He can do trap music. He can do drill music. He can do UK drill. The boy's all over the place.
Well, we definitely had a writer for his rap.
Yeah, but
sure. But go ahead.
But on the same vein, Kanye. We know Kanye had a writer for him. We know that. There's plenty of dudes in Chicago who I won't mention their names out of respect, but I'm sure they will mention their names out of respect for themselves that wrote for Kanye. So it's one of you know what I mean? So it's one of them things where it's like there's a bunch of rappers. We can even look at Jay, and this is the taboo. Jay-Z, did Jay-Z have a ghostwriter? Anybody remember this dude named Source Money? If y'all ever,
I know who Source Money is, of course, but Source never wrote it. Okay.
You see, that's the thing. He's never wrote for Jay because Jay writes his rhymes in his head. There was a time Source and Jay had verses that sound kind of like and that's just influence. That's just a person hanging around a person.
Well, you gotta remember, Jay. You gotta remember, Jay had Sauce Money on his first album. I think
right.
he was one of the
But
only.
I'm saying,
he was one of the only features on the album, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So that's momentous in and of itself. But I don't think there was a ghostwriter situation with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they was on that song together, but I don't think there was. Maybe they sounded similar in style. I understand what you're saying, the cadence, or
that's what I'm saying.
the flow, or something like that.
It's not a ghostwriter situation, but it's if you're around somebody who sounds like somebody who sounds relevant.
You can influence. Yeah, I feel you.
Let's talk. Let's go back to when Jay and I'm a little old, so sometimes I forget names. But there was this whole thing where they was wearing Hawaiian shirts, Hawaiian Sophie, where they was doing. Yeah, where Jay-Z had to get his thing from. I'm not really saying anything. That's kind of like ghostwriting, but
that's his origin. So yeah, there's definitely some validity or some truth.
But what I'm saying, saying is, it's when you're influenced by a style, you're influenced by a style, because that whole style, we gotta say that was a whole play off of Das Effects, because Das Effects never gets enough credit for the Iggity, but Das was the first. That everybody took it and they did the Iggity. You know what I mean? You had Food Chickens, but we could go. You know what I mean? We could go into that whole history. But what I'm saying is, you have certain artists that influence certain artists. So with that being said, that's one influence is one thing. It's not ghostwriting. So if I'm in a room with Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne saying some shit, but on the same note, in that era when Gilly was around Lil Wayne. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
it's same thing. Yeah, I feel you.
There's so many. You can look at a lot of these rappers who we look at and we like, yo, they the greatest, but they the greatest because who's around them. And then they're the greatest because they let me take that little bit from this person, from this. Even not to go back to Jay, because Jay is the king of this shit. Respect the Jay. But Jay was the smartest man in the world to give the respect to Biggie he did, because he knew, like, if I don't respect Big after he passed by reminding people about these bars, I'm not stealing these bars. I'm reminding people about how Big will flip something in my verse. So y'all know I'm still with Big. That's some real love shit. He didn't have to do that, but it was something that was necessarily needed to be done. It's not ghostwriting. It's not biting. It's what he did.
I think I think when somebody is great, quote unquote great or great artist or whatever, I think to do that, they have to also know when to be humble. You feel what I'm saying? And I think they also know the people to surround themselves with to be successful. So I think that makes them great. You know what I mean? So whether that means, a manager or, this person to handle that, they put the right person in a position to benefit themselves as well as, I guess whoever's doing the work for them as well. I think that makes a great, artist. They know what kind of team to have around them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like you finished saying, if you got the right people around you, the moves that you can make are exponentially greater than if you were by yourself trying to do the same thing. Because we can't all have 5 heads. We can't all be in 10 different places at one time. We need a team. We need a team.
I kid you not, like, I probably wouldn't even be doing music no more if it wasn't for my team. I kid you not. Because I look at them like, yo, it's funny because we just do this shit to impress ourselves. It's not about who else likes it. We don't give a fuck about anybody else. It's like, yo, that song's hot. Yo, it made, like, if my boy made something like, it made him shake his head. It made him respect it. Because we are hardest critics. Like, we are real hard critics. It's all my dudes in the camp, we've all rhymed at one point. And at one point when we rhymed, we was nice as hell. Like, you couldn't, it was like, nah, seriously, if we was signed, it would be a fucking problem. But because we did the whole battle circuit back then when they had battle circuits where we actually went out and battled. A little bit different from the battle where it's like, y'all write your rhymes in battle. Nah, we actually battled on the spot to different beats. Like that whole 8 Mile shit was actually real shit back in like the 90s and early 2000s. Then it became, and no disrespect to these battle rappers, because what y'all motherfuckers do is great. Shit, I should have thought about this before. Maybe I should have wrote out my rhymes before those battles back in the day. I probably would have won more. But on the same note, the respect I still get when some people kind of, yo, I remember that shit. Yo, you said some, that's crazy. So I get it. But all that to say, like, yo, it's a different game these days. Like
Who
Adam,
do you when you come up with something fresh? You just cook something up in the stew. Who's the first person you call to run it by when you feel like it's ready? You feel like, yeah, this might be something. Who's the first person you call and say, yo, listen to this real quick, tell me what you think?
Nah, so let me tell this story how this shit goes. Shout out to my nigga Snooze Daily. All right, so what
don't make it too long. We almost at the end.
All right, so what happens is sometimes I'm doing beats and Snooze will be right here. You know, we might have just finished a session recording some of the joints for him, and I might be going through a beat or starting something. He's like, yo, I need that. And then all of a sudden that beat after is done, that's him, and that's that. Or what happens is
so Snooze is right there at ground zero, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So he'll grab. Or we'll do listening sections amongst the fellas where we're just playing shit out, or we might be sampling some certain shit, and it'll just be like that. Like basically my guys. If it don't go through my guys, if it don't go through Jamal, it don't go through Snooze, it don't go through Lie, it don't go through any of my guys, my mains, my boy Classic, my boy Prime. If they don't hear it and they'd be like, I can't move.
That's the filter.
Yeah, and it's like even with beats, like it's real shit. I can have beats that's hot as hell. And motherfuckers like, yo, that shit's hot. Well, why say that now when I made it months ago? Oh, I thought you knew it was hot. Well, nigga, I want their opinion. Well, shit, now I can start shouting. It's one of those things. And it's a genuine love.
Now, see, the reason why I asked him that question, P Money, you see how I posed the question to him. I said, who do you call? Like, insinuating one person. But you see what he did? He turned around and he said, yo, my team. He said, so if there's a group of people that he goes to, and what did we just finish talking about? You got to have a strong team behind.
Man, you is only as good as your team.
If you don't have that strong team, I tell you,
that's what it's all about, man. That's your filter system right there. So, you know what I'm saying, your people's and you trust their opinion and you trust what they say, and that's the most important thing, that they always being real with you, Reelz. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
real shameless plug.
Shouts out to shameless plug.
Right, the homie that's always on the checking.
That's my guy.
So what we going to do is that's our guy.
It's our guy.
That's
it's our guy. It's your guy. It's your guy.
It's your guy. It's my guy.
It's your guy. It's our guy.
It's that guy. I get it. You know that guy.
Right. It's that guy. So what we going to do is introduce this Drake joint.
Okay. So Drake is just. You know, Drake is one of them people that could go from any which way he ever wants to go. He could sing, he could rap. And I was like, all right, so if I ever did a beat for Drake, what would it sound like? Well, boom, here it is, there you go. And I was just like, yeah, that's pretty much that. It was like, all right, this is probably something he might want to down and do his little shit on, do that whole Drake thing he does. And that's it.
All right, bet. So let's get it, y'all.
Hey,
Jill, and we back.
yes, sir.
P Money is somewhere in the building. Probably
Mhm.
went to go make sure and pay the water bill. But tell the people, you said so the new project is going to be on where? Where can they access this?
All right, so we're on iTunes, Spotify, and everything. Actually, with this project we have it's not being released as of right now. We're not going to release until August. Everything will be on iTunes. It's going to be called The Virtuoso, so you can be able to check that out. We do have the title art and all that good stuff. I should have shipped that over, so y'all going to be seeing that also.
Do we have a date yet in August, or just around that time? That's pretty much going to be
Nah, it's going to be. I'm looking at third week of August. I don't want to. Yeah, it's really going around the 21st, but I want to make sure I got everything in place before I say it.
I don't want you to name it if you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? I just want
to
give the people an idea when it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Time to one. So give them because we getting close to the end of the hour.
We getting close to that time. All right.
Give the people your social information and you say it's going to be on all platforms and everything, so they know they can look for that in August. But let them know where they can find you, because I'm quite sure some MCs that's hearing these beats tonight and they want to get a hold of you and possibly, you know what I'm saying, get some of that work.
Yes, please come get this work. Listen, so if y'all in New York or the surrounding 5 boroughs, I'm right in Queens. So rmgstudio.nyc is the website. Y'all can book through there. Y'all can call me through there. Phone number 347-869-6774. Why do I shout out my phone number like that all the time? Because you need to have it. I want people to contact me. Now, I mean, just don't spam call me, because I've had rappers. Yo, y'all some funny niggas out there. I tell you, boy. I tell you, there's some funny ones out there. There's the ones that think they made it, that think they're doing me a favor by calling me and letting me know that they're the next best thing. I am not the gatekeeper. I am not that guy. I am not the motherfucker that can get you a record deal tomorrow. Or am I? I am that nigga that has that connect. Or am I not? That's the whole thing. Everybody has that power of having that connection. Everything's about networking. So let me just keep this real with everybody. Like, I'm just the guy that knows a guy that knows another guy that knows some people. It's always about networking in music. One thing in music, be humble, network. So I'm supposed to be doing this social media. Let me get back to that. Right. But be humble, network. So Instagram, rmg.studio. Easiest thing. Follow me and I follow you back. I conversate, I talk, I chat. I have nothing better to do to respond and get back to you and talk some shit. Nah, real shit. Like, this is what I do all day. All I do all day is sit down, do what I do, talk, make people happy, and make connections. That's all I do all day. So I have no problem having a conversation, trying to make things happen for you. And if we can make money together, let's make some money together, because there's plenty of money to be made out of this motherfucking music industry.
That's what we tell people all the time on this show as well, man. It's all about building relationships, man. It's not even about, and I hate to say it like this, it's not even about your talent level. It's about the relationships that you build with people, because that's going to dictate the distance and the longevity that you have in this industry, man, because it's all about the relationships.
It's 2 things, or actually 3 things: network, consistencies, and relationship.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So all goes hand in hand.
If you can master those 3, you'll be the man in life, period. Fuck the music industry and life. If you could be consistent in that, remember people faces, they names, what they like. Remember where you met them at, why you met them. Just be yourself. Motherfuckers be coming up. Like, yo, you could be the next best artist, and that's cool, but you know what I mean? Be humble. But on the same note, be gracious. Because if I'm in front of Future's face, I'm gonna be mad respectful. Like, yo, my nigga, this Future. If I'm in front of Sierra's face, I'm mad respectful to Sierra. If I happen to do a session with both of them, that's because I worked for Universal a few years ago. That was fun. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that you never know where you're going to be at. You never know what opportunity is going to be given to you, but seize the motherfucking moment when it's there. Seize the day. Comprehend. Like, yo, just at the end of the day, just be you and just do what you got to do.
What do happy money?
And before we get up out of here, right, with what you just said,
right? Come on, come
on. Well, with what you just said, I want to say this. Today, the artists don't know how to communicate when they in a certain room. So everything is, and this, I don't know if this is a New York thing, but me being from New York and talking to certain people, everything is a yo yada yada. And I'm like and I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying right now. How about
Yep.
you tell me what is going on? What is that we need? How we can work together? Yo, you already know. I'm like, I don't know what
Yo,
means.
yo.
Like, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take this conversation a little
It's
bit
like
too deep, real quick. I'm gonna tell you.
It's a continuation.
I'm gonna tell you why it's like that, because none of these men got raised by men. Real shit. And what's happening, and it's a thing in the black community that we dealt with. It's a New York thing, because New Yorkers we're standoffish. Well, think about it. As a kid, you're told not to talk to strangers, and then when you're an adult, what's the thing you got to do? Talk to strangers. So that's the oxymoron in life off top, right? So now you're a New Yorker, you're a rapper, and let's say your family was broken, or let's say you didn't have a male figure. So now when you deal with men, you don't really know how to deal with a man. You don't know how to look a man in his eye. You don't know how to even shake a nigga's hand. You know how to dap him up. You know how to shake a man's hand. You know how to shake him hand and look him in the eyes, so the respect. And that's what's missing. That's why these young kids is like, They don't know what to talk about because they don't know what the fuck. They wasn't educated on how to talk. In school,
Yo, it's a fact, though.
I mean,
it's a fucking
it's a fucking
the words. They don't have the words.
And and on the same note, us as grown men, we got to look at that like, yo, look, it's like sometimes you got to put the hand on the shoulder, like, little brother, listen, I know what you're trying to commit to me, but I'm trying to tell you, without all whoever you think you are on the street, whoever, I'm you, me. Let's talk like we know each other real quick. Let's talk like we just regular people. You don't have to put no spins on shit. You don't have to give me the whole facade of who you are. Nah. Like, even me, like, the funny shit with me, I'm the humblest nigga you'll ever meet. But niggas, the facade of me is like, yo, well, I see you're driving this, or you're on the bike. I'm like, nah, my nigga, that's the work. The reason I'm on these things is, one, because I put the work in to get that. Plus, I believe in spoiling your motherfucking self. Because if you have a 9 to 5 and you just working, my nigga, you not living. You just work. You living somebody else's dream. So why won't you spoil yourself? Spoil yourself with your wealth when you get some shit. I'm not saying get all your money and spend it on some reckless shit. Nah. Invest in yourself. You better go get yourself a house first. Get a second house. Don't worry about a fucking car. You want a Benz? All right, cool. Go get yourself a business. Then buy your Benz, put your car in your business name. And then that next year, write that car off. That's what you need to do. Us as people, as black people, we're not known on that and not put on the game, because I guess sometimes it's like, yo, well, we're not told about how business goes or how companies are ran. And some of us don't know how to ear hustle. Put yourself in the right places, in the right spaces. That's what I'm saying to y'all. You know what I mean? That's the best bit of knowledge I can give to anybody. Is like, be humble, network, and just keep moving. And
yourself some rooms.
Word. And I'm telling you, that humble shit to get you everywhere.
Yo, real for real. So shout out to you, Reelz, man, for coming in, respecting the spot. We already got, man. Yo, we gonna talk. This New York. This is all New York in the building all day right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we gonna keep doing this. Shout out to MJ for making this connect. And that's that network situation going on right now. So yo, man,
listen. Salute MJ, the best kept secret right there, boy. MJ, I love you for this, girl.
Like, I'm telling you, she's a monster. So yo, my G, man, have a great
real salute, man.
Word, salute. I like y'all.
All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all soon. Definitely. What?
Yo, so you already know
the Reelz giving us the Reelz.
Reelz in the building, like for real, the real.
You gotta get your segment in, P.
Oh, which one? Oh, my segment? Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right. Oh damn, I forgot all about that. We got caught up in the whatever. So we got the movie of the week. So here we go. Bang! Here we go.
Only on 106.1 High Level FM. It's about that time of the night. Let's get into these smooth grooves one time for the one time.
Yo, so for those of you, it's already the movie of the week, man. Like when I tell you, this is something y'all really need to watch, and when y'all pay attention to it, Netflix has been the one to step up during this time of the summertime, right? Not prime time for series and all that, so you don't have new episodes for whatever's going on. But I want to say it is Spiderhead. This I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play the trailer for it, but it goes to a lot of what we spoke about earlier today. With you medicate people, you give them certain things, you get them to do certain things, and no lie is basically the press of a button where you could get somebody sexually active, where you could sit there and get them to be 100% violent. Our media that we watch really has a lot to do with our reality, but they desensitize us with what they give us and they put in front of us. The purge is real, and outside of that, here we go, Spiderhead, y'all.
Hello again.
Sorry I'm late, Mr. Amnesty.
Not late at all. That's Spiderhead. We're proud of our work.
Your presence in this facility, while technically a punishment, is a privilege.
Where have you been?
Drug study?
In science, we have to explore the unknown.
They've been testing me up and down. A lot weirder stuff than usual.
This is new frontier stuff here.
Before we begin, I need your permission to administer Pen 40.
This place can really mess with your head.
Drip on. Acknowledge. Drip on.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
Yeah, acknowledge.
Let's do this. Are we getting this?
This doesn't feel right.
Time to worry about crossing lines was a lot of lines ago. Our work will save lives. Not just one life, many lives. We're making the world a better place. What you want is redemption. And this is how you're gonna find it.
We're selling peace and harmony itself.
Beautiful people get away with too much, and I say that having benefited myself from time to time.
All I'm gonna say is that you gotta watch it. Like that is one of those things. No lie, you gotta watch it. That was just a little bit, but chemical introduction to the body will cause you to do a lot of things, and that's it. That's all I gotta say. But you gotta watch it, and this is not an endorsement. We ain't getting cut no check. But when I say this is what y'all need to really tune into, there's a lot more, but it is what it is. So what's up? What's up, Sean?
It looks next level is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, never seen anything like it.
Wow, great.
Spiderhead.
So before we get about it, what you want us to do?
Shit, man. We ain't really got time for me to do. Real quick, hip hop news. Eric Holder found guilty. After 3 years, they gave him first-degree murder. R. Kelly got 30 years. You already know that. They trying to get some type of prison music program so he can continue to make music. Believe it or not.
they just trying to get the bag. There's that,
You know what I'm saying?
that 360 deal that he's signing in prison right now.
Okay, China, because 30 years is a long time, baby. And I told you already, Big Sean and Janae go expecting because I knew we was going to be late in the show. So that's the hip hop news. That way we ain't got to run no intro and get the time up. Really.
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
All right, so we played
We played
the
the new one. Yeah, we played the new. Hit him with the old.
All right, so we're going to take it out with this, and then when we come back, we're going to check out on y'all. You heard?
Be obliged if you step outside, because my ride is awaiting. I date it, her steak, her nightcap, we mate it. Awakened by smells of perfume that I inhale, and then tell I well we raise hell on the diesel. Satin sheets, heat from your feet keep me warm. The mood is perfected with the sounds from the storm. You strong, I lasted long, and I'm everlasting. Your mouth was fantastic. The is that you passed it. The way you made a player laugh, I had to get you. And when I saw that jazz pass, I had to shit. You're making me fight against my will. What must I do? Would you kill for me? Yeah, if my life's
New day, new age. Woo!
I'm telling you.
A-Ball MJG.
Man, this your boy. You can follow me at PROFIT_radio_NY. I'm probably going to change that up. So in a couple of weeks, it's probably going to be a little different. But
Okay.
So you follow the kid. Make sure that you follow the spot all day. Because not for nothing, ain't nobody doing it like it. You heard?
No,
I got my man 150 grand on my left. No, if we looking at the screen, you on my right side. No, you on my left side.
You on the
You on my side. That's it. You on my side, my G.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit your boy up on the gram. You know what I mean? If you see all my follows, they may not be the highest, but they organic. You feel me? It's DJ Sean, recognized DJ SHAWNRECOGNIZE. You also hit me up on Twitter too. Short version DJ Sean Rec DJ. Oh, hold on, people, I gotta change it. You change it. Hold on. There it is. It's DJ Sean Rec DJ SHAWNREC. Remember, only my friends could call me Rex, so you better recognize.
Gang. Yo, and we here, man. And yo, make sure you tune in next week, man, because it's always gonna be a vibe.
Maybe
it's the spot.
Maybe a little late, but we gonna be here. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
That's it. Yeah, the only time I don't want to hear somebody talking about they showed up late is that chick that I banged over the weekend. Well, we got new laws in place, so you know what?
Yeah, you know.
I have to handle that. You heard? And we out of here, y'all. It's the spot, man, for real.